everybody. I hope you're doing well. My name is Anya Winnicka. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Director of Education here at the Not Pro. And this month's webinar is all about driving real reviews for your business without having to beg for them. Sounds good to me, right? So that we've gotten a lot of questions about this one, and we've been hearing from a lot of folks on it. So I know it's a hot topic. I know there's a lot of people signed up for it. So let's get to it. I want to share with you all that I have, and you guys tell me if you have more tips too after this, and we can just talk about this all day long. All right, so I'm going to get started. Pull up my presentation here. And here's what we've got. So real reviews, real business, how to get reviews without begging for them. How valuable are reviews? Come on, you're watching this because you know they're valuable. Real reviews are for you. They're word of mouth business drivers. They're digital trust markers, meaning when someone goes to your website, someone goes to their social channel, they go on the Knot, there's in an instant they can understand that you're legit and that you're credible. One of the best ways to create upfront transparency is through real reviews. You are who you say you are, of course, but if real couples talk about you in the same way that you talk about yourself, it's all the more transparent and obvious that you are that person. What else? They drive real business. Clearly, 95% of shoppers read online reviews before making a purchase. 85% trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. That is a big number. There's a lot of people out there who are putting all their eggs in the basket of personal recommendations, face-to-face, word of mouth, and that's just not the full picture. So look online and help yourself and help your business by ensuring that people are leaving you great rave reviews also online. That's why you're here. 7 is the lucky number. Consumers on average read 7 reviews before they feel like they can trust your business. So you need lots of reviews, and you need them to be recent, and you need them to be relevant, and they need to be specifically saying who you are, right? What else? They're more important to wedding planning than ever before. Overall, the importance of reviews has gone up. Not just in the online shopping world, but also in wedding planning. So we do in the Real Wedding Study every year, we ask them how important are reviews to you when you're looking for your pros. 81% said they are important to the planning process. That is up 11 percentage points since 2011. That's only been 7 years, and folks are wildly excited and motivated to read reviews of your business and help them make a determination as to whether they should hire you. So, of course, again, that's why we're all here listening to this review, right? Or this webinar. Reviews winners get more leads on the Knot. If you have a Best of Weddings badge next to your storefront on the Knot, you are likely to have 3 times more leads than storefronts that do not get them. Huge. So here's the meat of it, right? How to easily get reviews from your couples. And sorry, spoiler alert, I'm not going to show you one trick that's going to work. I'm going to give you a concept, and I'm going to hope that you embrace it. And we're going to walk through and show you and illustrate different ways to approach it. But here it is in a nutshell. You have to teach your couples how, when, and where to talk about you from the very beginning of the planning process. It cannot be at the end, 2 to 4 weeks after the wedding, you send them an email and say, by the way, will you please review me? It doesn't work like that. Maybe it does for you, but it really doesn't have to be that way. And it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to drive reviews without having to sound like begging for them if you are teaching your couples how to talk about you online from the very beginning. If you are showing them that talking about you, leaving sort of pseudo reviews for you on social media and other places is the way in which you like to be communicated with, and it's the way that you do business, and it's the way that you go get more clients, right? So if you could think about the planning process, put yourself in their shoes, and think about the moment in time where you can affect how they think about you. And so just to be very simple about it, let's put it into 3 boxes. There's the researching and hiring you phase, there's the working with you phase, and then there's sort of wedding and post-wedding phase. And at every single one of those moments, you could be doing something online to get them to talk about you, or get them understanding that you like to be talked about online, so that by the time it comes down to the wedding. They want to leave you a review. Like, they're ready. They know how to do it. They've been talking about you the whole time, and it is like a no-brainer, and it is not hard. And essentially, you've exercised and trained them, and you've created that muscle for them that has made it sort of the easiest thing in the world for them to go off and leave you a review at the end of the day. So let's get down to it. Phase 1, researching you. You got to create cues across all the channels when they're researching you. So where are they researching you? Well, they're looking at you everywhere, right? They're looking you up on planning websites like The Knot, hello, your website, Googling you, searching you, looking you up on social media. They're looking for proof that you are who you say you are, so they, can decide to hire you. But this is also an opportunity to start dropping the breadcrumbs all the way down to reviews after the wedding. So what do I mean by that? On The Knot, pretty obvious, your reviews. Make it, if you're an advertiser, and you are because you're watching this webinar, which is a perk for advertisers, you get to make your top 3 reviews sticky. You get to actually put them at the top of the page so that when someone comes to your website or to your storefront, on The Knot, they're going to see your best reviews. Make sure that they're not super duper old, but definitely take advantage of that feature because it's a good one. And obviously, if you have a Hall of Fame badge, if you have a Best of Wedding badge, all the better. But that's a visual cue, and that's one way to start understanding that reviews are big for your business. Another way is to make sure you're not forgetting to put testimonials on your own website. Some of you may have them, but maybe you don't have photos of your couples alongside those testimonials. It's a really good trick. It's something that we do all the time at The Knot, where we show our couples so that future couples can put themselves in their shoes, right? So they will imagine what I've never done this before. They're thinking about whether you're the right fit for them. So what better way to do that than to put photos? Imagine them being your client. It also helps them see that that the best clients get to leave reviews and testimonials on your website. It's not a far-fetched concept once you piece all these things together that you would be teaching them to say, like, gosh, you know what? I really want to be like them. I can't, I hope I get to feature clients on her website down the line, one of her testimonials. So again, you're teaching them. What else? Google, Facebook, Yelp, Beyond. Basically what I'm saying here is you want to do an online reviews audit of yourself. Are you coming up stars? Just make sure. Yes, if you have great reviews on The Knot, that is gold, because the intention is that I'm planning my wedding and there are other couples who plan their weddings and they're trustworthy because we're around a big trusted brand like The Knot. But I don't want you to forget that when they Google you or they look you up, to also be C-star. So if you're coming up like 1 star on Google, that's not good either. So just do an online audit of yourself. Make sure you're good to go in all those other places. But absolutely, I would say focus your efforts on The Knot, because that is where most couples are planning their weddings and where they're looking for reviews. And add your best of to your bios. If you have won Best of Weddings before, here is a tip. Put it front and center in your bio on your social channels. Put it in your About Me. Put it in places where couples are going to see from the beginning. Again, they're not leaving you a review right now, but what are they doing? They're understanding that you and your business are all about reviews and all about, these trust markers. So put it in there, just like these guys have done. The Knot's Best of Weddings. You can do it in any way you want, but it's a trust marker for future couples who might be shopping you, and it's a great way to teach them up front and center that this is part of what you do. And brag about it when you win. More on that later. But if and when you win Best of Weddings, take the opportunity to use our graphics, put those up there on your website, put them up on your social channels. It'll make its way into other people's feeds, but it also, again, teaching, big deal to be a review, big deal to leave me reviews on The Knot. So all of this, and respond everywhere. It creates social proof. So let me give you an example. Our friend Cece from CC New York, she has these gorgeous invitations. She posts them on Instagram, and guess what happens? One of her clients writes back, the one whose this was, and she says, "Oh my God, oh beautiful, I'm obsessed." And what happens? Well, CC writes back and she says, "Oh, you were beautiful too," and they kind of have this online conversation. But what is that really doing behind the scenes? What that is doing is it's teaching this couple, this person, but also future couples that it's important to talk to this pro online or on Instagram, to respond back and forth with her, to communicate, so that it's not just about emailing or a phone call or the things that you do business as usual, but it's also about creating a true connection online and showing other people that this is what it's all about. So I'm going to show you some tips along the way to do that. Other things you could do, you could regrab in this case, video of her having the experience of opening up her invites, and she was so excited about it. That's creating social proof, and clients regramming them will help other people again understand, oh, right, like she talks about herself online, they like to talk about them online, and therefore down the review, not a big deal. It's what we've been doing the whole time. Okay, create a hashtag just for you and your couples. This might seem a little bit out of left field and not quite. It's all create around your people is helpful in helping them understand like their feel motivated. It will give them a reason to keep talking about you to other people, and it will reinforce their decision as to having hired you in the first place. So CC has CC Bride. The Harvey team, they have their own Facebook group that's totally closed just for their clients. Find ways to create community. Find ways to talk to your couples online, because it's a muscle. They're going to be just using it, exercising it, so that by the end, they're going to leave you a review. Phase 2, working with you. When they're working with there too. This is all about not minute to beg, right? So post about their wedding and through and through. So many couples have their own unique hashtag for their wedding. You could be using it way, way, way before the wedding, getting in on the conversation and teaching them. Displaying your best weddings, if you display it, and then actually telling them how important reviews are. So post about their wedding. So this wedding planner out of California, she gets their engagement photos. Like, you can do this too. Get your couple's engagement photos and actually post about them way, way before the wedding. Use their hashtag. Start telling them how excited you are to plan their weddings or work with them on their weddings. They will write you back. They will want, just as you're doing for them, talking about them about you online too. You're going to reinforce that just by doing that. You could pick a day of the week. You could say, every day or whatever, I'm going to pick an engagement photo of one of my favorite couples and I'm going to talk about them. So that's one. Then it's during the wedding, right? All of you guys have seen with your couples. Some of them may be more beautiful moments than others, but there are moments where you're working together. And these are great opportunities for you to be posting on social and talking to your couples and sharing out their world and their details. It could be Instagram stories that you use. It could be Facebook, or it could be a string, but all the reinforcing it. And if you really want to be militant about this, you could actually map it out for every single one of your clients where you're talking about them throughout the planning process, so that they've sort of gotten really used to it. And then, of course, afterward, you're going to have some great photos. Hopefully, have access to posts of your clients, because maybe you don't get to be a part of that crew on the day of, etc. That's okay. Find out about their photographer ahead of time. Find out whether that photographer likes to blog those images. Find out how you're going to get that content, make a plan for yourself. And then, of course, talking to you online. It is one of the very, very best ways to encourage them so that down the line, it's just easier for them to think about you in that way. Post-wedding, use their hashtag, and way after the wedding, you can wish them a happy anniversary. You can go back to some of your favorite clients and do the same thing for them. But again, this is the same thing. You're just hitting it over the head over and over again and finding ways to do that. And then, of course, like I said, displaying your Best of Weddings awards physically, like having that physical representation of your awards based on real weddings reviews is huge. And none of these things work on their own. They all work when they're working together. It's about this full picture. So this is one of those important parts of it. And then finally, sounds obvious, but tell them that you want them to review you. And don't just do it after the wedding. Like, tell them along the rhythm. Or I am just having so much fun working on the details for your wedding day for you two. Hopefully, you are too. And hopefully you'll, leave us a review on the knot one day so that we get to work with more couples just like you. So find ways to reinforce it. Actually, let them know how important it is to you beforehand. So again, it's not like they're like in the mode to go review you right now, or they're planning with you, but like down the line, they're going to remember that conversation because it's going to be obvious, because you've been able to reinforce it so often. And frankly, just saying it out loud and asking is a really great way to get that going. Okay, number 3, after the wedding, this is the part that everybody tends to focus on when it comes to reviews, but you want to build reviews into your workflow. You want to check in 2 to 4 weeks post-wedding, depending on where their honeymoon is. Be simple and be brief in your ask. Do not ask for a review while asking for other things. Have it be its standalone email or note or text message. And then at 7 weeks, congratulate them for 50 days of marriage or 100 days of marriage, however you want to do it. But find another moment further out where you can congratulate them and maybe reinforce that review if they haven't left it already. So checking in, make it concise. Remember, they're all on their phones. Make it super easy for them to see. Here's like an example. I could not be happier for the 2 of you. I love seeing all the photos. I can't wait to see your photographer has for you. Quick question, would you mind leaving me a review on the knot? It's super easy, would mean the world to me. And if you feel like it, you could even include a few details from the wedding day that they might want to include in the review so that it kind of writes itself for them. Remember, it should fit on the screen. And remember, you want to hyperlink it straight over to your storefront, make it as super easy as possible for them. And guess what? If you didn't know this already, the Knot just made it even easier to leave a review at the Knot. I'm going to show you all the details on that in a second, but it's good stuff. So checking in with a clear, concise ask is a big deal. And just make sure you're not burying the lead and you're being very clear about what you want. And then the other idea is like, you haven't heard from them, or maybe you even have heard from them and they have left you a review. This is still a nice touch. A lot of folks are congratulating their couples for being newlyweds. They're not like forgetting about them. They're reminding them how important the experience was to them and how important it is now. So some go so far as to send them a bottle of Prosecco. Others will leave a card. But that's another moment in time where you might want to solicit a review if you haven't already gotten one. And here's a fun tip that's similar to what I'm talking about here from a planner in Chicago. She's one of our education ambassadors, Desiree Dejanay events. She actually takes a selfie with her couples, and then on the wedding day itself when having a good time, and then she texts that photo over to her couples, reminds them of how beautiful they looked on their wedding day, and then also asks for a review. One of the cool things is that because it's so easy now to leave a review on the Knot, you could easily text a link over to them and see if they'll do it that way from their phones. They very well might do that. So you might try texting them as well. Okay, so here's the not so fun part. I'm going to talk about what to do with less than glowing reviews. We've talked about sort of like taking on the reviews strategy, taking on a strategy that is like more holistic and thinking about the beginning, middle, and end of the process. But in the end of the day, sometimes you just end up with some less than glowing reviews. It happens to everyone. It happens to the best of us. I want to show you what to do. What to do, first and foremost, you have to respond. I really, really encourage you all to respond to your negative reviews. Why? Well, the facts don't lie. 80% of folks believe that a business cares more about them if they respond to negative reviews, and say they are more likely to visit a business if they respond to negative reviews. In other words, respond to your negative reviews. You will come out the bigger person. You will come out the hero. Make sure when you are leaving a review, though, responding to a less than glowing review, though, that you're doing it in a very constructive way that is teaching your future clients that this is a big deal to you. So I want to break it down and show you a little case study. One of our other education ambassadors, these guys from Little White Dress in Colorado, have done a fabulous job of curating amazing reviews. They're best of weddings. They've got 5 stars. They have hundreds of reviews, but there is a review that's not so good on their storefront, on the Knot. And what did? They responded to it, and it looks amazing. And do you think it deters other couples from going just because they have this one bad review? No, it doesn't, because when you look at the response from the owner herself, you see that she's done a really good job of showing she cares. So what did she do, and what can you do if you need to respond to a less than glowing review? Number 1, acknowledge. Say, thank you for your feedback. Sorry you weren't happy. I mean, if you need the template, there it is. Use your own words. Never, ever, ever be defensive. It's not worth it. But thank them for their feedback. Say that you were sorry that they aren't happy. You're not sorry that like something you didn't do happened, but you're sorry that that person is not happy. what you did to take action. We took a look at the inventory in this case, whatever it is that they talked about, like you might want to broach that topic, whether it be generically or very specifically, like in this case. And then third, reiterate the importance of customer service to your business. Make sure that that's clear, because again, this isn't exactly for the person who left that bad review. It's actually for the next people who come and look at your site and they look at your reviews on the Knot. So this is really for them. So reiterating the process that you take it very seriously, you really appreciate feedback and opportunity to learn and be better. And then signing off with your name, your personal name, is such a high touch and often goes overlooked. Oftentimes people will leave it just with that and they won't sign off with a name and they won't say who they are, but Kate did it. She left her name right here, and this is a really powerful response to a less than stellar review, and she's better for it, and her reviews are better for it too. So that's what to do. And I'm going to move on to this very exciting news, which is that reviews on the Knot are easier than ever. Yay! As of this month, no need to start an account on the Knot just to leave a review. Anyone can leave a review. Doesn't have to be the couple, could be the mom, could be somebody else who is really involved in planning. And reviews now just need to be verified by an email provided. So what does that look like on a phone? It looks really easy. Here's what's required. Here's what they'll get. They'll have to leave stars, a star rating, easy peasy, their review in this easy to use box, their name, an email to verify the review, their role in the wedding, and then the wedding date. Again, we'll just use the email to verify the review and it'll go live. What does that mean for you? It means it's even easier and more likely that your couples are going to do it. So yay, get excited. I hope you're motivated, because the deadline for winning Best of Weddings is coming right up. It's right around the corner. It's October 31st of this year, Halloween. You got to have 10 or more 4 or 5-star reviews to qualify for Best of Weddings. If you have won Best of Weddings 4 more times, you qualify for a Hall of Fame award, which is even better and more exciting. And you can add that to your storefront, and also will, likely result in more leads for you. So bookmark it. The deadline is October 31st, and it's a big deal. It will help you get more leads. It will help you create more trust markers. It will help you along the way. So just as you're teaching them to talk about you online from the very, very beginning of the planning process, you also want to make sure you've got these things in place. And Best of Weddings is one of those great trust markers that creates credibility around your business. One more thing, I've asked a few folks out there to give us some real life tips to driving reviews from other pros. So here they are, just a few of our friends in the industry. Photographer here, simply ask and send a direct link. That's what they do. These guys, they ask about the honeymoon post-wedding. That's how they broach the topic. Good idea. These guys say they give a little gift. I want to make a point here. You cannot hold back any content. You shouldn't be holding back anything, putting anything in your contract about, exchanging a good review for some product or service. That's not the way it works. That doesn't really make it a very fair democratic process. So, it is a nice idea to send people something regardless, and then to say how much you would appreciate a review, but still a fun idea. And finally, sending a handwritten thank you card signed by the staff. There's nothing more exciting than still feeling like you're in that newlywed glow phase. From those of you who've gotten married, and getting a card like that and recognitions for being newlyweds and things after the fact is a great touch and a great way to solicit a review as well. So that's it. That's all I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's a meaty topic. It's one that's ever changing. As we find more tips, we'll share them back out with you. We'll blog about it. We'll put it online on Instagram, on Facebook, all that stuff. So make sure you're following along at the Knot Pro, and stay tuned for another webinar. We've got lots of good stuff. You guys are advertisers, and we totally appreciate you taking the time to tune in, to watch this, and just to be with us today. So thank you for your business, and thank you for spending time and investing in your business and through education. I'm Anya Winnica. For those of you who are interested, you can find me on Instagram, and I'm also hellopro@thenot.com, and we will see you next month. Cheers.